Happy rails to you. Welcome back, my friends. Happy rails to you. It's good to see you again. Thanks for watching the channel and the videos. Sometimes they go real fast and sometimes they're slow. Happy rails to you. Glad you're watching. Hello everybody, it's G-Man. Just wanted to welcome you back to the channel. I got in on Thursday, I think it was, a HO Triang diesel engine. Now you guys know I do have some HO, and I did work on them for a period of time back, and I think the early part of the year or towards the end of last year. And then I put them all back up, and I kind of really felt like I had enough diesel engines, enough HO engines, considering I don't have yet space for an HO layout. I am planning something in the very near future whenever I can get around to doing something again. But I had a guy by the name of Jay, and he sent me this very nice Triang HO diesel. Now, it's in really decent condition. I know you can't tell by really looking at it here, but it's in really decent condition. It does have some little wear. It's been played with, but he sent it to me as a donation repair. And the reason why is because, as you can see, number one, this motor has fallen out, and it's got a little problem with the slot that it sits in the top. I do have the wedge key for it though, so that's not going to be a problem. The motor did not run, and matter of fact, just got done working on it just a little while ago, and I didn't think even to start the video, to do the video while I was working on the motor. I really wasn't going to work on it. I broke it down and got into it, and I just kept going. So, and then after I got almost done with it, I thought, man, I should have did a video on that. But I'm going to walk you through kind of what I did do to get the motor running again. Now, basically, the motor was just really dirty, and it was also over-oiled. And I found that if you over-oil these motors, they won't run right. Too much oil, too much grease, just kind of messes them up as far as running is concerned. So I went through, and let me show you what I did. Okay, I put the motor up on the track. First of all, I checked it to see if there was any dead spots in it, and it was getting electricity. It just was not running. And so I have several different types of these. This particular motor with these particular wipers, I had never really cleaned before or worked on before. But for those of you who watch Double O Bill, you can get all the information that you need on cleaning, servicing the various types of British and European made trains. He works on all different makes and models, and he does a really great job, and his videos are pretty easy to follow. So I've watched several videos. I have one or two of these already. I have a Hornby, and then I think I have a Lima, and of course they're a little different because of the period that it was made and the motors that they use. But I went ahead and I had watched him service one of these Triang engines, and so here's what I did. First of all, there's 4 screws on the bottom that you've got to take out. And I dropped a screw just a little while ago, putting it in, and I've got carpet down here under my feet, unfortunately, and I couldn't find it right now. So hopefully I'll be able to find it tomorrow or the next day before I vacuum. And if not, I'll have to try to find a small screw and put back in there. 3 will hold it sufficiently, but it would be better to have the 4th screw in there. But anyway, this plate comes off, and you just take these 4 screws out, lift this plate off. Under this plate, if I can get it to kind of stand up for us a little bit, maybe if I turn it this way. Maybe. Under this plate is a magnet. It sits right here. And there's another magnet that sits on this side right here. These 2 are wheel magnets. And they also give a draw to the magnet that turns around the armature. And so it sits up here on the top. So there's a pull there. There's a lot of magnetic energy going on there. It also gives a little magnet traction to these wheels, which is really nice, and gives pull to these wheels. And I think that's its general purpose. It gives it more, like, pull more power. So you take these 2 magnets out, the one that's here and the one that's right here under this plate. And then you take these wheels out. They just lift right straight up out of there. And I cleaned these wheels, front sides and back sides. Made sure the gears were in decent condition, and they are. And then I cleaned the wipers. Now you can't see the wipers very good from this bottom side, but I can show you from this top side. The thing about this camera is you either get it too close or too far away. So, but here, if you can see this, here is a wiper, and there's 4 of these, 1 on each side. 3, 4, right there. And they sit on the back side of the wheels, and that's why you make your contact. And so I took these wipers and I cleaned them, and then I respaced them, because they have to be spreaded out. They didn't have quite enough spring on them that they was making good contact. And they were dirty. As I said, the wheels were dirty, the wipers were dirty. And so I cleaned those wipers. I also pulled out the armature. I took it out. It lifts right straight up out of the bottom. I took it out and I cleaned it. Now, I could have taken the motor all apart, and that's what 00 Bill probably would have done. Maybe not in this case. He might have done it a similar way to the way I did it. one of the other guys that work on HO trains. But that was my way of doing it, trying to clean it in a way that was a good quality cleaning, and yet not having to go through a lot of unnecessary trouble. As you take this apart, then you got to move these clips, and then you got to watch for this thing here, and it's just a lot of work when you go that route, and that might be unnecessary. Ordinarily, if the magnet was weak, it would be best to go that way, because then you could get this magnet out of here and go ahead and remagnetize it. Now, that's another thing. I don't have a remagnetizer. So that means that I would have to use, which I no longer have, a couple of very powerful small magnets. And I've got some strong magnets, but nothing well enough to remagnetize this. It takes electromagnetism to really do a good job. But this magnet in this is still very strong. And you can see here on the bottom also that magnetism on these two bottom magnets, just even the wheels, they work perfectly like they're supposed to. So we've got a lot of magnetism going on. And so there was no shortcomings in that area. The armature was really dirty, and I cleaned it up and got the dust and a little bit of hair. Surprisingly enough, as I said, it was dirty, but it wasn't full of carpet fuzz or hair. It just had a very little minimum around in there. It was just dirty from oil and grease and just being over-oiled and a little dust that had gotten in it over a period of time. So, cleaned it all up, put it back together, as I said, respaced the contacts, got the wheels clean, and put it on the track. And it runs. Let's see. There we go. Sorry I'm moving the camera around so much. And I mean it runs. Now, my transformer, my little power pack, this is a different one that I just got. My other one went out, and I bought one, and it was no good, and it was only working on one side, on the accessory side. And so I emailed the guy and told him it was only working on the accessory side, and I wanted a refund or an exchange. So he sent me this one, which works perfectly, except, and keep in mind, I have this nickel track on here, and this is even good nickel silver track. This is just some old steel track, actually. It's actually a tin track. And so the motor doesn't always make as good a contact as I would like to have on it. but it's good enough just for testing motors. But ordinarily, I would like my engines to be able to start out about 25 miles an hour. And this one actually tries at 50 when you get up to about 40 or 50. But in order for it to really go, I've got to get it up to about 55, 60 miles, scale miles per hour. And so I don't know whether that's still, whether that's a track current problem or whether there's still something else I could do to the motor. Sorry about that, guys. That would make it run faster or better, that where it wouldn't draw quite so much current to move. Let me show you again. If I can get them both in here. Let me try it this way. Okay. Here we go. 50, 75, and it will move. But my point being is, it does run. All right, it started to take off at 50 that time. And then that's why I say I think it's just a track. I think it's just a track thing. And the more I run it, I think the better it's going to get. So, but anyway, just wanted to do a quick video to share this with you. Being you guys is interested in HO. This also has another problem. As you can see, I was telling you, this hole is kind of worn in here. And here's the clip for it right there. That locks it in place. But when the hole's that worn, it really makes for a sloppy operation. This is also cracked right here. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to repair this crack. You can see it right there. I'm going to go in and repair that crack. I'm going to downsize that hole just a little bit, or resize it. And in order to do that, I have to take off the top, which requires me to unscrew this little screw down here in the bottom. I'm going to take this top off, and then that way I can get everything reset back up. This little guide housing here that was factory cut into the body, this piece is broken out. So I'm going to repair this also. I have a piece of plastic. And I'm going to take this piece of plastic and I'm going to repair this. And make it so that it's good to go. And that will keep that pin that's here on this motor on the back side. Right. Let me go back out. Okay, that's too close. All right. This pin right here, that'll keep it from coming forward when it's trying to go to this side, because that's probably what helped to wear that out. when it would swing to this side, it would come out here. And that can cause derailments. It can cause a lot of issues and a lot of problems. So we're going to fix that. And like I said, resize this hole. We're going to fix that. And put it back together and see how it runs. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fix those two things. And I'll get back with you in just a jiff. As I always say, guys, if you enjoy running your trains, operating your trains, as I do, then you should have happy reels. Thanks for watching part 1, and part 2 will be following. Thanks. Bye-bye.